Hello and welcome to this pattern recognition video, and today we have more back rank checkmate patterns. So for beginners out there that aren't familiar with pattern recognition in chess, you basically want to pick a set of tactics problems, and I'll try and do at least 10 here today, and you go through them once nice and slow, and then instead of forgetting the problems, you can go back through them a little faster, and then you go through them a third time a little faster. And so each time you want to go through them a little bit faster, and then by about the seventh time through, you should be able to solve each problem, in 15 seconds or so. And by then, the patterns will be more burnt into your long-term memory so that you will recognize them more in your own games. So in this position, we had a back rank threat because we have a queen and a rook lining up on this square, and the king was here, and moved closer to this square to defend the back rank. So now we have to figure out a way to press our attack and try and get a back rank mate here. So pause the video at any time if you need to think longer. So our rook is cutting the king off. And usually you want to look at moves in the order of checks, captures, and threats, because checks are most forcing. You look for those first. But, how can we check here? Our rook could move here, or our queen, but then it would just be captured. So maybe that doesn't work. If we try and go here with our queen and deliver a check, of course the rook would just capture us. So if we don't have any good checks that have a good follow-up to win, then we can look at captures, which, we don't really have any good captures here. So now we have to look at threats. So maybe we can threaten a back rank mate. So one option may be to press the queen here, threatening to just capture the rook and deliver a mate. Deliver a back rank mate that way. What are the options? If you try and move this rook, well then the queen can go here, delivering a check, forcing the king back into the corner, and then we can deliver a back rank mate here. So try and figure this out in your head. Hopefully it's not too difficult for beginners. I did bump up the difficulty a little bit from 500 level to all the way up to 2000. So all the problems will be in that range. There'll be ones that are easier and some that are harder. But they're back rank related, so you should be able to find them. So I'm thinking we go here, attack the rook. If that rook moves, then we can put our queen here, delivering a check and then a back rank mate. And it looks like there's not much they can do about that. He could try and make an escape square by pushing this pawn, but then of course we just take the rook. So this looks to be a good move. So that's what they wanted. Now we're able, like I said, to move here, delivering a check. And the only thing, remember, when a king is being checked, there are 3 or less options. Capture the attacker, which cannot be done because the rook is backing up our queen. Block the attacker, which can't be done when they're side by side here. Or run. So the king will be forced to run here. And then we can just sacrifice our queen. The rook will be forced to capture, and then our rook will deliver that back rank mate. All right, hopefully you found that one. Apparently that was a 1442 rated one. On to the next one. A knight has just been captured on the edge of the board. We could recapture, But we want to try and find a back rank mate possibility. All right, so I don't know. The obvious move, instead of taking that knight, I mean, if we're looking for checks first, we could go here and deliver a check, but then the king could just escape. And then what follow-up do we have? After that, I don't really see any good options to continue an attack. All right, so maybe this one is a little trickier than it looks. Do we just capture the knight here? But then we wouldn't have a back rank threat. So looks like we have to go there to start a back rank attack. The king would be forced to go here. And then, we probably need to activate our bishop, which is not doing much in the corner over here. So we could capture there, and then we're attacking the knight. And then, let's see, we would have a threat. So I'm thinking check. King is forced here. Our bishop is activated by capturing this pawn. And then we have a threat of checking here. And then that would be a mate. So a mate threat. The knight may move here to stop that threat. So let's take another look at this. So queen checks, forcing the king to h7 here. Our bishop captures. The threat is our bishop going here, checking the king, and that would be mate. So our opponent would have to defend against that. And how would be best to do that? I mean, if the knight moves here, we could just attack the knight, maybe. And sometimes you want to check the move order. So what if, well, that wouldn't work. If we capture the knight first, king and queen are covering this. So I still think we have to commence with this back rank attack. So I'm going to speed this up a little bit. We're going to go here. Then, oh, we have the double threat. Okay. Yeah, we have a double threat because there was also this threat of going here as well as going here. All right. And one thing, that I recommend, so here it's just a mate. The king can't go back. Try and calculate as much as you can in your head. Because in a game, if you overlook one move, that can spell disaster. All right, on to the next problem here. Rook is what? Just captured, but it's our turn. With the black pieces, we're looking for a back rank mate. All right, well, hopefully you found this one. This one's a little easier, more simple to figure out. So take a look at it. Pause if you need more time. If not, here we go. So we see the knight is cutting off the escape here of the king. So all we have to do is check the king on the back rank, and hopefully you found the queen move here. So back rank mate with the help of this knight. All right, on to the next problem. Okay. Well, all right, a very good pattern here. And I may have mentioned this in other videos. I had a similar pattern that I was able to win a tournament game before. Take a look at this, see if you can figure it out. Remember to look at checks first as they're most forcing. And if you look at a check, also look at the follow-up moves. At least another move after the king makes their move or your opponent makes their move. What will you do after that? So hopefully that'll show you that if you go here, the king, well, the knight would just capture your queen, so that doesn't work. And of course the king cannot run out to here because of the rook. But yeah, queen cannot go here or it'll just be captured. So maybe we have to look at another check instead of that one. The rook could capture, but then rook would just recapture. And then if we took here, the king would be able to escape and be on the run. But maybe there's something better. So take a look at one final checkmate, or excuse me, check that leads to a checkmate. So we're going to go here and then pause the video if you need to, see if you can figure out the continuation here. So we're going to check. The king will be forced to run towards the corner. And then that will allow us to sacrifice the queen by capturing the knight. Rook captures, and rook delivers the back rank mate here. So here we go. Check, sacrifice, and back rank mate. All right, I hope you found that one. The computer says it was rated 1560. So on to the next one. Oh, it looks like our queen was just captured here. So with our queen captured, we're down by a entire queen here. So what do we do? How do we turn this around and win this game? All right. Well, look for those checks as they are most forcing. Now, of course, you don't want to go here, or you'll just be captured, by a rook, or even the queen could capture. So look for the other check that's even better. So our queen was just captured. We might as well recapture and take a piece. If our queen is going to go down, we might as well get something for it. So remember, when a king is in check, there are 3 options or less. So capture the attacker, and that would not be possible. Block the attacker or run. The king can't run anywhere because of its own pawns. So the only option is to block with the queen. So we capture the rook, delivering a check. The queen blocks. Now, if we just capture their queen, they will recapture, and it's not a back rank mate. The game would just be even material-wise. So how do we get a win? So take a look at it. Pause if you need to. So we have another move. We're going to capture the rook. Queen will be forced to block, but then we want to check with the other rook. So the queen will be forced to, hold on. Queen will be forced to capture, and then our other rook can capture and deliver a mate here on f1. All right, let's show you this. So capture, queen blocks, the other rook delivers a check, forcing the queen to capture, and now we have the back rank mate. All right. Well, I'll try and do 5 more problems. Hopefully, especially the beginners out there, hopefully you're not having too tough of a time here. All right. We just had a capture. So this bishop captured a piece here. What are we going to do now? Well, we have to be careful. We could just deliver a check here, but then the king could escape. So that doesn't really work. You know, it would escape and be attacking our rook up here. So what other checks do we have? Hopefully you found the bishop capture of the pawn delivering a check here. So now the king, doesn't want to go into the corner because then the rook would deliver the back rank mate. So then we have another option. Bring the other bishop in and target the king. So that'll draw the king out. Let's see if it's a mate. So back, get rid of these arrows so they don't confuse, especially the beginners. So we want to capture here, deliver a check. The king would be forced to move. So king moves here. Then we put the other bishop up here, delivering a check. And the only option would be for this knight to block, and then we can capture that and deliver a mate. So here we go. Check. Oh, and he just goes back into the corner anyway, so the back rank mate here. All right, on to the next problem. We have 4 more to go. I hope you're doing well with these problems. Okay, our queen is under attack. We can't capture with check here. The bishop will just capture us. But we have a back rank mate. So that shows how important it is to look at all checks. So we don't want to go here, of course. But hopefully you found this square. So mate in 1 here. All right, 3 to go. Queen moves to the side here. Maybe threatening to jump down here and check us. It wouldn't be a mate. Or even more dangerous, perhaps capturing here. But that doesn't matter because it's our turn. What can black do in this position? Well, we have multiple checking possibilities. So our queen can go here, here, here. Our rook could go here. But this bishop can block us. So how do we handle that? All right, take a look at it. Hopefully you figured it out. We're going to deliver a check with the rook first. And then, once the bishop blocks, we're going to capture. The king will be forced to recapture here, and then our queen can deliver the back rank mate here on d1. So calculate that in your head. If you're ready, here we go. Check. Sacrifice rook for the bishop. Well, exchange, I guess. And then back rank mate. So a great little pattern here where the pawns cut off the king and then the queen cuts off that square and delivers the back rank mate. Okay, 2 more to go. A pawn is pushed forward, threatening to capture and promote to a queen here, which is not looking good because then that would lead to a back rank mate, it looks like. So with our move, with us moving first, what can we do here? Okay. Well, we have to look at all the checks, as checks are most forcing. Um, if we capture, king captures. So, it doesn't look like there's a good follow-up here if we sacrifice the queen. So what other checks do we have? The only one I see, well, there's two. Knight here or knight here. Now, which one works? So if the knight captures this pawn, the pawn is pinned here and cannot capture, so the rook will have to capture, attacking our queen. And that would allow us to... Oh, we have options here. No, we have to capture that. But then the rook could retreat back and block. And then I think we run out of options there. So maybe... Well, maybe that's what we have to do. This is a little tricky, so maybe we have to go here. If we do that, rook will capture. Our rook can capture and threaten a mate here. The problem is this move. Capturing our rook with a check. The only way to stop that is to block, but then queen will capture and there'll be a mate, a back rank mate on us because of this bishop. Well, not really that. Just the bishop doesn't even have to come into play. It would just be capture, promote to a queen, block, and then capture with mate. So we need to really figure out what to do here. Maybe we have to do this move. Rook will capture. And then we could deliver a check here. But then the rook can just block us. Huh. All right, a tricky one. So, do we sacrifice the knight? Rook captures. Queen captures. Rook will block here on g1. Huh. Then what? So, knight captures. Rook captures. Queen captures with check, forcing the rook to block and attack our queen at the same time. Oh, we sacrifice the queen at the end. So that is why it's so important, because the king will be forced to capture. And then we have the back rank mate with this rook. Bishop and queen can block. All right, I hope you beginners are following. And maybe I made these problems a little bit too difficult for pattern recognition, because now it's a little more calculation as well. But you get to see the pattern at the end, and hopefully that'll help you recognize that final back rank mate pattern. All right, this one was a little tricky, so here we go. Knight check. We capture with check. Now we can sacrifice, pulling the king towards the center, but the rook delivers the check and the back rank mate, because now the bishop could block, but we would just capture that as well. And the pawn prevents the king from running here. All right, the final problem. Here we go. And that last problem was rated 1979. So, congratulations to any beginners, or even an intermediate player that was able to calculate that all out in your head. All right, here we go. Our knight's under attack here by this bishop, but what do we have? All right, pretty great pattern here. We see a rook lined up on the king, so that could lead to a discovered check, even a discovered double check if this bishop moves, maybe here. So double discovered checks, very powerful. So you always want to look at those when you have a chance to do that. So we can move here, a double discovered check, because rook and bishop will both check the king. The king remember, when a king is in check, there's three options or less: capture the attacker, block the attacker, or run. Now, when it's a double discovered check, two attackers are checking the king at once. So that rules out the possibility of capturing the attacker, because you can't capture both at the same time. So that narrows your options down to, you can't even block both at the same time. You're kind of forced to run. So where will the king run to? Here or here? And it looks like either way will lead to a mate. So hopefully you found that. Calculate it out in your head if you need more time. If not, here we go. The final problem: check and mate here on the back rank. Outstanding pattern there. Okay, I'll wrap it up here. Feel free to leave any comments. I always enjoy hearing from viewers and subscribers. So thank you for all your comments, those who have left them in the past. And for new viewers, please like and subscribe to support the channel. Thank you for watching, and have a super chess day.